This is Joshua Harris with Frankly Cigars. I'm here with Jessica. Jessica, thanks for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Jessica. I am originally from Detroit, now staying in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I am a business consultant on my own business consulting firm called Enough and Beyond.
Okay. And what does Enough and Beyond specialize in?
We specialize in operational, strategic operations to help small businesses as well as large businesses
Mhm.
from a strategic standpoint. So those that have been some operational controls, need some processes put in place,
Okay.
or need someone to come in and just understand their operation and advise them the right way to go, that's where I come in at.
And if
I've been
somebody
an
want to,
operational leader for like 20 plus years,
wow.
stemming from manufacturing to retail to utility industry.
And if somebody want to reach out to you to avail themselves of your service, how could they do that? You have an email or website or?
My website is enoughandbeyond.com.
Okay. So enoughandbeyond.com. We may put that up like right down there, but I don't know. I don't know how to do that yet. So we'll try and figure it out.
Okay.
When did you smoke your first cigar?
I smoked my first cigar 8 years ago. I
Okay.
was in La Casa, at La Casa in Detroit, Michigan, with a group that we were meeting up with. And they said, well, we want to go to Cigar Lounge because one of the husbands smoked cigars. So
Okay.
I'm like, cool. Sitting there at the bar, I drink bourbon. So had my glass of Woodford Reserve,
Okay.
neat, of course, and sat there and I'm like, everybody else is smoking. Why can I try? And I'm
Yeah.
like, they're like, okay, let's go to the humidor. So went to the humidor. The guy recommended a Tatiana, so ended up with a Tatiana Groovy Blue. And sat there, smoked it, drank my bourbon, and loved that moment from then on. So
It really is an amazing moment, and to be welcomed kind of in a community, even though it kind of was with a grain of salt with, hey, you're a female, so you have to smoke the flavors. I've always been kind of insulted by that because I know a lot of female smokers who smoke heavier than I do, and good to you because I have to have a Connecticut every once in a while. My palate just gets completely burnt out, so I completely understand
yeah.
exactly where that premise is coming from. Do you have a favorite drink to pair with your cigar, like a type of bourbon, or is there a bourbon that you recommend other than Woodford?
So my typical go-to is Basil Hayden.
Okay.
So love a good basil. The original basil don't need to be the weeded or the red wine. Don't get me wrong, is the absolute best,
Right.
but you can't find it. And I actually gifted someone my last bottle, which
Wow.
I didn't think that through. But Basil Hayden is, a typical you can find in any bar. So
Mhm.
that is my typical go-to. So I would do a basil. But if they don't have basil, Woodford is always on the shelf. And when you don't have that, a Scotch is an easy go-to as well.
Wow.
So
You just look for the ripcord and just like, I'm just going to go with the scotch and just go the whole way. All right. Um,
absolutely.
Being a relatively new cigar smoker and the whole journey of cigars, do you have advice for a new cigar smoker? Is it something that you would say to someone starting out?
Understand your palate. So, me starting off with the groovy blue, I sat there for a while and I didn't want to try anything else because I didn't like fully understand. But then going into the Connecticut's or, getting to a mild cigar, it started opening my palate up more. So
Yeah.
I did try to jump in with the the bigger folks and like, oh, you're smoking this, Padron. And I'm like, oh, let me try it. I'm like choking on it, like, okay, that's too much pepper. Let me step back for a minute. But just understanding your palate and trying things as you go along and not jumping off the deep end, but start off gradually, understand what mild or medium cigars are, and start at the mild range and work your way up.
And I would add on to that, just listen to your palate as well, because there's sometimes your palate doesn't like something because it has X tobacco in it, or it doesn't like something because it has the pepper and
Yeah.
spice, and trying to find, okay, I don't like this because it's full, but I also don't like I like this one because it's peppery, and those two are different things. And a lot of people confuse that where they say, oh, this is a full cigar, so it has a lot of pepper. You can have a light cigar that has pepper.
Yes.
So you just have to kind of know exactly what you're looking for as far as with your palate. All right, what's the biggest unwritten cigar rule violation that you dislike?
Oh, the tapping. It's the tapping for me. So you don't have to keep ashing your cigar. It's
It's a piece
okay.
of art, folks. It's a piece of art. Somebody worked 300 hands
Yeah,
worked to make that cigar. Just let it sit. It'll fall off on its own. And everybody
absolutely.
has to do this every once in a while because it falls off on
It'll
your
catch me.
person.
So I let my ashes grow, and like you said, it's an art, and it's like it's that moment where you're like, yeah, this is a good cigar.
Oh yeah.
Like this is the moment, and then I'll see that little line that forms, and I'm like, okay, this is the ashing point. This is where the ash is going to fall. So I'll catch it before it catches me. But yeah, it just like it's a part of it, and if you not keep knocking the ash, and then sometimes you're damaging the bottom of the cigar because you're just constantly hitting it on the ashtray. It's like, please don't.
Well, and also a lot of people don't understand that that works as a natural filter. So the longer you have the ash on there, it's going to take that oxygenated air and stop it from being so harsh on the flame of that cigar, and actually
Yes,
smooth out that cigar a bit because you're putting basically a filter on the end of the cigar naturally occurring because of the way that the cigar is rolled and meant to be enjoyed. And then when you ash, you're exactly right. You don't want to tap, you want to kind of roll it. And then if you roll
yes,
it, you should have a clean, nice line from where you're smoking the filler and binder wrapper all together. I smoke fast all the
absolutely.
time and I get that point to it. And I'm like, why doesn't this taste like it used to taste? Because you're smoking the outside only. That's all.
Oh
That's all
yeah.
you're doing. What was the moment you felt like a real cigar smoker?
When I knew the etiquette. So understanding the ashing, the burning it, toasting, the cuts. Once I started understanding that and being able to sit and do that perfectly,
Yeah,
that's when I knew I was a cigar smoker.
it is really one of those aha moments where you're like, okay, I get it, and then it's double reinforced when you see somebody who doesn't know that etiquette and doesn't know those steps, and you're just like, oh, I used to do that like a long time ago, but I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And then being able to tell that person that, I'll sit there and they'll be like, well, this isn't acting right. I'm like, well, if you do it this way, and then once they start smoking, they're like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, oh, I did something. I'm
But there is such a
good.
fine line between telling something, helping somebody, and telling somebody. And and sometimes I would imagine that you have big burly men who don't want to be told by a female what they're doing wrong with their cigar. That they know everything and they know they give it to me, so I can only imagine how they give it to you as far as, well, I know I'm just smoking for 10 years. Well, you're doing it all wrong. So it's very good that you're smoking,
And,
but
and it's funny you say that because it's kind of like the opposite. So
okay.
I'll have a guy literally stand next to me and he's like, oh, you smoke cigars? And he'll ask me, well, how do you do this? And how do you
Oh
this?
wow.
I'm like, really? I'm sure it's a pickup line, but
Oh.
nonetheless, it's still is like, okay, I can show you. And then they're like so amazing. They're like telling their friends, like, oh, look what she can do. And it's like, okay, yep,
Well, use those powers for good until.
absolutely.
What was the last cigar that surprised you?
It was the Trinidad Espiritu, if I'm
Okay.
saying it right.
The one, two, or the three?
The one.
Okay, it's a
Yep.
great cigar.
So it is a great cigar. So it had a little hint of sweetness in there. The cocoa was
Mhm.
forward. With it being a Nicaraguan full cigar, the wrapper, like it was an amazing cigar. And I kept like pulling it out and like, okay, this is because that was the first time I ever smoked it. I read, I always kind of read up on them before I smoke them to kind of
Okay,
understand what I'm getting ready to get into.
yeah.
And then all the notes it had, the cocoa, the
Mhm.
earth, I was like, okay, I'm feeling the sweetness kind of scared me some because I'm like, okay, how sweet are we gonna get here? Because I used to be able to smoke sweet cigars, but
Right.
now that sugar is so forward for me now because I don't have sugar in my normal diet. So it's like when I have a sweet cigar, it's like I can't do it. But it actually was a nice mellow tone and it was an actually clean smoke the
And
entire
not an
time,
expensive
which made
cigar for the way that it smokes and the depth of flavor that you have. And you're exactly right; those flavors kind of move together and kind of have a different,
hmm
almost like a different taste on every draw. And I think that that's
yes.
a great thing. What's your favorite cigar right now?
My favorite cigar is the where is she? Where'd she go?
Uh-oh.
The Gurkha V.
Really? Okay.
It is. I really enjoyed this. It's smooth, it's consistent throughout, and I hate that they're not making it right now.
Mm.
So just
Company company
it
going through a transition is what
yeah.
I was told. So the company is transitioning. So we shall
Yeah,
see.
but Yeah, when she told me, she was like, I was like, well, I have one more case left. And she was like, because I enjoy it so much, I like to share with others. So
Okay.
when someone tells me it's their birthday, I'm like, I have a cigar for you.
Wow.
Try this one. And then they were like, oh my God, that was a good smoke. Now I can't give any more out because
Yeah.
I have my last 10 and I am not letting anyone have them.
Now you can say, "Oh, it's your birthday. Happy
Right.
birthday! Please
Exactly.
enjoy this happy
Exactly.
birthday text from me." Like that's
That is all you get now.
what's the accessory that you can't live without? Is there one?
There would be it would be a good lighter, or a nice straight cut. So
Okay.
the lighter wise, you get I like a medium sized torch flame, not too big because you'll have those people that want to share it. Is that a big lighter?
It is a Bic lighter because I'm going to offend you right now. I use my thumb and I use a Bic lighter because I can't lose
Okay.
them. And I like the torch, but I hate when it chars the tobacco too much on the side, and I get that kind of burnt taste to it. So,
Yes.
but I could understand having it be consistent. And I think what you were going to say was everything kind of compares the same. If you have that straight cut and you have that torch, then you can compare them equally. And
Yes.
so I'm just at a lower level when it comes to accessories. That's all. I just don't. I don't know. And I have so many lighters that need fluid and need adjustment and need like this and that and everything else. Do you have like a go to like kit that you take with you when you go smoking? Like, does it have the lighter and the cutter and everything else, and it comes in its own bag?
It
What's it
does. And I
what?
actually have two kits. So I have
Okay,
my travel kit, which is a nice big humidor. Unfortunately, I left it at the cigar bar because we're not going to talk about that. I left it at the cigar bar nonetheless. But I also have a mini kit that I carry with me that holds
okay,
3 cigars. So my larger one holds 10 cigars.
okay.
And I have a full size table lighter, which is my Lotus. Then I have a V cut, straight cut, punch cut,
Wow.
because if someone else comes in without their tools, I want to be able to help out. And then I
You
have
are very forthcoming and very helpful. I feel bad.
am.
I feel bad. The Midwest may not be the place for you. You may have to go somewhere happier, like Europe or something like that. Like
Do I
I'm worried.
really? But then I also carry a mini can of refill, of
Okay.
lighter refill, and then I also carry a box of matches,
Wow.
because sometimes I may not want that, the butane taste,
Mhm.
and or if it depends on if someone gifted me a Opus X. I can't remember which, was it, the Lost City, and I did not want to use butane on it. So I'm like,
Okay.
okay, let's light it with a match. And so I have that. So that's my entire, and not only do I have the table lighter for Lotus, I also have two other lighters. So I have a thin flame. So I kind of keep enough lighters so that way if I run out, or depending on what cigar I'm smoking, I have the
Right.
right flame and I
Okay.
don't burn the ends.
Okay. Okay. All right. Have you ever met anyone in the cigar industry who you were epically impressed by?
Not yet. So
Okay.
there's some folks that give me a lot of information. So
Mhm.
I want to say Jared with Metro Cigars,
Mhm.
Germantown, Wisconsin. Uh, the amount of information he has, and when he talks to me, and he actually has helped me through my journey of
Oh wow.
having me trying different cigars that come in. So he'd be like, "Well, this one just came in. It has these, and these notes, and
Right.
and you smoked this one the other day. You might like this one." And as soon as I get it, sit down, I can feel him hovering, and he's like coming in. So I would say he impresses me because he's helping me improve, my palate and go
Oh
along
yeah.
this journey with
Oh
it.
yeah.
So, and he's very attentive to that. So as soon as I walk in, or I walk into the humidor, he's like, "Are you trying to smoke something you've already smoked, or you want to smoke something new?" I'm
Right.
like, "Let's just try something new. Like, when in Rome, let's go."
And
So,
having been in Jared's position, I can tell you that when you get stuff in, like certain cigars, you're like, okay, this will be good for this, and this will be good for Jessica, and this will be good for that. And so when he
yeah.
sees you, it's a genuine happiness. He's like, oh, we still have them. Hold on. Like,
Yes,
I like when
exactly.
those guys forget where it is, or somebody moves it, and they take you to where it should be in the humidor, and they're like, oh, hold on a second, I got it. Like, you're like, wait, what's
Yes.
going on? Is there?
Exactly.
All right, so we've come to the end of the questions. You've done very well. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
What cigar brought you into the world?
So I was buying cigars at a newsstand, and I went in with the cigar I had bought at the newsstand, and I felt so big because I had graduated from like the Havatampas and like the Philly blunts, and I just had something in my mouth so that I would be able to smoke and be able to concentrate on that instead of concentrating on all the different things that I was trying to get done and trying to accomplish, and it gave me an ability to be centered and everything else. And so I took the cigar in and I said, I really like this cigar. Is there anything you'd recommend? And the guy who owned the shop took it out of my hand, cut it and lit it, and said, "Oh yeah, I got something for you." And we walked in the humidor, and he got me a Padron 4000. I sat down on a stool in the mall and smoked a Padron 4000, and that was my first premium handmade cigar. So setting the bar kind of here, and then just I said in an earlier interview that I did with Daniel Gray that trying to find facets of that moment is why I still do this, and trying to find like, I've sat on the same stool actually in the shop that's no longer there and smoked a Cuban cigar with 50-year-old port. And so I don't think I'm going to have those experiences again, but being able to have like moments at the trade show or moments in the shop or moments, with friends sitting outside smoking. And I think that's why we all do this. Is it that community and that camaraderie about it that, you can have somebody come up to you and say, "Hey, how do you do this? How do you get your cigar lit? Or what would you like this cigar with?" And you having that ability and that knowledge and that community to be able to share with them. I think that's why, we kind of all do this. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it was definitely started with a high mark and just kind of went, "Oh, that's what we're okay. We're going to do the Padron 4000. All right." Well, I mean, there got to be better cigars than this, and some are, and some aren't. And it's not the line that I compare everything to, because I compare the last cigar to the cigar I'm going to smoke next, or vice versa, or anything else. But I really do think that there's so many different variances of the cigars, and you can change the way it tastes by the shape and the size and everything else. So I really appreciate that question. I'm really glad that I could share that with everybody
Absolutely.
else. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Can you give your email address one more time if people want to reach out to you for the business sense, and then any socials that you want to put out there so that people can go ahead and get a hold of you?
So for the business is jessica.williams at enoughandbeyond.com. And then from a Instagram is JAI_slim, SLIM.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jessica. I really do appreciate the time. This has been
Thank you so
Joshua
much.
Harris on Frankly Cigars.